Part I. The lie of loyalty. Men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, deceivers, fearful of danger, greedy for gain. Machiavelli's brutal summary of human nature is not just about greed or fear. It is about loyalty. Because loyalty, he knew, is the most fragile illusion of all. The mask called loyalty. Most people speak of loyalty as if it were sacred. Friends swear eternal brotherhood. Lovers promise forever. Employees pledge devotion to companies. Citizens sing anthems, vowing loyalty to nations. But scratch the surface, and the truth emerges. Loyalty lasts only as long as it is rewarded. The moment fear outweighs love, or profit outweighs principle, loyalty vanishes. Like mist, in the Sunday Machiavelli warned rulers never to mistake words for truth. Men will shout loyalty, but in their hearts they calculate advantage. They are loyal not to you, but to what you provide, safety, gain, or hope. Take these away, and their loyalty evaporates. Caesar and Brutus. The most famous betrayal in history proves this law. Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, ruler of Rome, adored by the people, trusted Brutus as a friend. Yet on the Ides of March, Brutus drove a dagger into Caesar's chest. Was Brutus loyal? Yes, until Caesar's power threatened the Republic and Brutus's own survival. His eternal friendship ended the moment interest shifted. Even the most intimate loyalty can shatter in one stroke. This is why Machiavelli insisted rulers build power on fear, not love, because love is conditional, fear endures. The shifting sands of thrones. Look across history. Richard II of England trusted his nobles only to be deposed when they saw weakness. Byzantine emperors were murdered by their own guards, whose loyalty lasted only as long as the gold flowed. Corporations today speak of family culture, yet fire thousands overnight. Where is loyalty then? Loyalty is a mask men wear until survival demands another face. To believe otherwise is to live blind in a world of daggers, modern illusions. Even now, loyalty is worshipped. Employers demand loyalty while offering no security. Couples demand loyalty while entertaining fantasies of betrayal. Politicians demand loyalty from citizens while betraying them daily. And men obey because they want to believe loyalty is real. They cling to it like a child clings to a fairy tale. But fairy tales do not survive wolves. Machiavelli would tell you, stop expecting loyalty. Start expecting betrayal. Because once you do, betrayal no longer surprises you. It becomes predictable and therefore controllable. The brutal truth. The weak man cries when betrayed, asking, how could they do this to me? The Machiavellian man asks, what took them so long? Because betrayal is not the exception. It is the rule. The exception is loyalty that lasts, and even then, it lasts only as long as interest aligns. Your friend is loyal until another opportunity benefits him more. Your lover is loyal until desire shifts or fear outweighs devotion. Your allies are loyal until your weakness costs them too much. This is not cynicism. This is clarity. Your test pause. Think of the three people you trust most. Ask yourself, what do they gain from you? If that gain disappeared tomorrow, would their loyalty remain, or would it crack under the weight of survival and ambition? This is not paranoia. This is preparation. To see loyalty as it truly is, a mask, a transaction, a chain as fragile as glass. Your declaration. Go to the comments now and write, loyalty is conditional, not as despair, but as awakening. Because once you accept this truth, betrayal cannot destroy you. It can only confirm what you already knew. If loyalty is a mask, then betrayal is the face beneath it. But betrayal is not only inevitable, it is logical. In the next part, we will uncover the psychology of betrayal and why even those closest to you are programmed to turn against you when survival demands it. Part 2. The Psychology of Betrayal. Machiavelli understood something that most men refuse to admit. Betrayal is not rare, not shocking, not unnatural. Betrayal is the default state of mankind when survival or ambition demands it. Why men betray strip away poetry, promises, and sacred oaths, and you find the same truth. Loyalty is convenient, but betrayal is logical. Fear drives betrayal. A man loyal to you today will abandon you tomorrow if standing beside you endangers him. Ambition drives betrayal. Allies will stab you the moment you block their rise. Greed drives betrayal. A partner will trade loyalty for wealth if the price is high enough. Machiavelli wrote that men love at their own convenience, but fear at the ruler's convenience. Love is voluntary. Fear is compulsory. Betrayal, then, is simply the rebalancing of love and fear. Stories of betrayal history is soaked in treachery. Brutus and Caesar, friendship shattered by ambition and survival, daggers replacing words. The Byzantine emperors, dozens murdered by their own guards or family because the throne was worth more than blood. Hitler and Rome. Rome helped build the Nazi movement, but when his power threatened Hitler, he was executed in the Night of the Long Knives. Loyalty bought time. Betrayal secured supremacy. Even in modern politics, leaders discard loyal allies when those allies become liabilities. Corporations praise team spirit until profit demands layoffs. Lovers whisper eternal promises until temptation or resentment whispers louder. Every betrayal follows the same logic. Loyalty lasts until the cost outweighs the benefit. The emotional machinery. Why is betrayal so universal? Because the human mind is built on self-preservation. Fear of loss. Men betray to avoid losing safety, wealth, or life. Hope of gain. Men betray to seize new opportunities. Fragility of emotion. Love, anger, envy, all shift faster than stone. A lover who adores you today may resent you tomorrow. A friend who admires you may envy you once you rise too high. Machiavelli's brilliance was stripping away the comforting myths. He did not see betrayal as evil. He saw it as predictable human behavior under pressure. Betrayal in relationships. Do not think betrayal lives only in palaces and empires. It hides in bedrooms and friendships. A partner cheats, not always out of hatred, but out of craving or boredom. A friend gossips behind your back, not because he despises you, but because betraying your secrets raises his value in another circle. A colleague supports you until your success threatens his own path to promotion. This is the psychology of betrayal. People betray not because they hate you, but because they love themselves more. The double-edged sword. Betrayal terrifies the weak. They mourn, rage, despair. But for the Machiavellian, betrayal is not tragedy, it is information. When someone betrays you, they reveal what they fear, what they desire, and what price buys their loyalty. That knowledge is more valuable than their false devotion ever was. A wise ruler, Machiavelli taught, expects betrayal. He prepares for it, designs for it, even engineers it. He uses betrayal to purge weakness, to test allies, to strengthen the foundations of his rule. Modern echoes. Look at corporations. Employees betray companies by leaving for better offers. Companies betray employees with sudden layoffs. Nations betray treaties when interests shift. Even friendships betray under pressure. If betrayal is everywhere, why do men still act shocked by it? Because they cling to the illusion that loyalty is permanent. They want the fairy tale. They cannot face the truth. The Machiavellian man smiles when betrayal comes. He whispers, "I expected you." Your test pause. Think of a time you were betrayed. Did it truly come from nowhere? Or were the signs always there? The ambition, the greed, the fear, and you chose not to see them? Now think of the people closest to you. What would it take for them to betray you? A threat? A reward? A shift in power? This is not paranoia. This is vision. The one who expects betrayal is never destroyed by it. Your declaration: go to the comments now and write, "Betrayal is predictable." Because once you declare this, you no longer weep at daggers in the dark. You count them as part of the game. You now see that betrayal is not rare, but inevitable and predictable. But what if you could use betrayal, not merely survive it? What if treachery itself became your weapon? In the next part, we uncover how rulers throughout history mastered betrayal as a tool of strategy, and how you can do the same. Part 3. How leaders use betrayal. Machiavelli taught rulers not only to expect betrayal, but to use it. To him, betrayal was not a disaster, but a weapon, one of the sharpest in the arsenal of power. The prince who weeps at treachery is prey. The prince who wields treachery as strategy becomes untouchable. Betrayal as strategy, not accident. Betrayal is not just something that happens to leaders. It is something they engineer. Why? Because betrayal purges the disloyal, tests the loyal, and frightens the ambitious into obedience. Machiavelli admired Cesare Borgia not only for cruelty but for cunning. Borgia used betrayal like a sculptor uses a chisel. He betrayed allies when they became dangerous. He betrayed promises when they no longer served him. And he betrayed appearances, feigning mercy, then striking with fear. Each act of treachery shaped his rule into something stronger. Cesare Borgia, betrayal by design. When Borgia needed order in Romagna, he sent Ramiro de Orco to impose terror. Once the people were subdued, Borgia betrayed his own servant. He executed Ramiro in public, presenting himself as merciful. This was not cruelty without purpose. It was betrayal as theater. The people hated Ramiro, so Borgia fed them his corpse. He betrayed an ally to bind the masses to him. That is the Machiavellian use of betrayal. Turn it into spectacle so that even treachery becomes loyalty to you. Stalin's purges. In the 1930 seconds, Joseph Stalin transformed betrayal into a political ritual. Allies, generals, even friends who had fought beside him were purged. Why? Not only to remove threats, but to show everyone else that loyalty was never permanent. By betraying his own circle, Stalin taught that no one was safe, and therefore no one dared disobey. Fear replaced love. Predictability replaced trust. His rule lasted decades, cemented not by loyalty, but by terror engineered through betrayal. Machiavelli would not have condemned him for ruthlessness. He would have admired the logic. Napoleon's betrayals. Napoleon swore loyalty to the ideals of the French Revolution. Yet when those ideals threatened his ambition, he betrayed them. He crowned himself emperor, discarding republican promises. To the idealist, this was hypocrisy. To Machiavelli, this was clarity. The revolution gave him a ladder. Once he climbed high enough, he kicked it away. The lesson: loyalty to ideals lasts only until power offers something greater. A true ruler betrays ideology if it shackles his ascent. Betrayal in modern power. Betrayal is not confined to thrones and palaces. Corporations. CEOs speak of loyalty to employees, then announce layoffs to save stock prices. Promises are tools, betrayed when shareholders demand blood. Politics. Leaders ally during campaigns, then betray each other once power is won. Cabinet members are discarded like pawns. Relationships. Partners betray when opportunity whispers louder than love. Friends betray when envy outweighs admiration. Everywhere you look, betrayal is not failure, it is strategy. The cold lessons. What do these stories teach? Betray when loyalty becomes weakness. If an ally grows too powerful, betray him before he betrays you. Betray promises when survival demands it. Words are costumes, reality is the body beneath. Betray illusions to keep control. Give the people a villain, then betray him to appear their savior. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should not keep faith when it is against interest, and when the reasons that made him promise no longer exist. To him, breaking promises was not sin, it was necessity. The fearful versus the fearless. The weak ruler clings to loyalty. He cannot bear to break promises, so he is devoured by those who betray him first. The strong ruler betrays without hesitation when the game demands it. He keeps loyalty only when it strengthens him, discards it the moment it weakens him. Fearful men die with their promises intact. Fearless men survive by shattering them. Your test pause. Ask yourself, what promises are you keeping that no longer serve you? What alliances are you clinging to that are already poison? Are you ready to betray an illusion in order to protect your reality? If you hesitate, remember, others will not. They will betray you the moment survival demands it. Why should you grant loyalty that will never be returned? Your declaration. Go to the comments now and write, I use betrayal as a weapon. Because once you declare this, you stop seeing betrayal as wound and start seeing it as blade. You've seen how betrayal destroys and how rulers have used it to rise. But what if you could not only expect betrayal, but create it? What if you could design betrayals, turning enemies against each other and rivals into pawns? In the next part, we uncover the art of turning betrayal itself into your greatest weapon. Part 4, Turning Betrayal into a Weapon. Most men live in terror of betrayal. They cling to loyalty, pray for trust, and collapse when treachery comes. But the Machiavellian does not wait to be betrayed. He engineers betrayal. He shapes it, directs it, and uses it to break enemies without lifting a sword. Divide and conquer. The simplest way to wield betrayal is to divide your enemies and let them devour each other. Julius Caesar bribed senators and generals to betray their allies, collapsing resistance from within. The British Empire ruled vast colonies by playing tribes against each other, turning betrayal into governance. Corporations today leak rumors, pit departments against one another, and watch rivals crumble in chaos they engineered. Why waste your blade when betrayal will make them stab each other? Testing loyalty through temptation. A wise ruler does not wait for betrayal in the dark. He designs tests. Offer an ally a tempting path to treachery and see what he chooses. Machiavelli advised princes to test men constantly because loyalty untested is illusion. A general may speak of devotion, but when offered gold or power by your enemy, will he stay? Better to know now than when war begins. If he betrays, you have revealed truth early. If he resists, his loyalty strengthens. In both cases, you win. Betrayal as bait. Consider how espionage works. Spies are not merely discovered, they are manufactured. Intelligence agencies plant information, waiting to see who leaks it. Once betrayal is revealed, the traitor is destroyed, and the ruler stands stronger. Napoleon used this tactic often. He spread false intelligence, watching to see which officers betrayed him. By baiting betrayal, he identified weakness before it could destroy him. The Machiavellian mind does not fear betrayal. It feeds betrayal, then consumes the betrayer. The puppet show imagined two rivals. Both desire your throne. Instead of fighting them directly, you whisper to each, the other plots against you. Suspicion spreads like fire. Soon, each betrays the other. You sit untouched, watching daggers fly across the room. This is betrayal as theater. You are not the actor, you are the playwright. The modern battlefield, look around you. In offices, managers pit employees against each other for promotions. Each betrays the other, while the manager remains secure. In politics, leaders leak stories to the press, igniting betrayal between rivals. In relationships, jealousy is planted, suspicion stirred, until betrayal erupts where you designed it. Weak men call this manipulation. Strong men call it strategy. The cold rules of engineered betrayal. Never fear betrayal. design it. If you wait, you bleed. If you engineer, you feed. Control the target. Direct suspicion where it serves you. Do not let chaos spread beyond your grip. Purge through betrayal. A controlled betrayal removes the disloyal without staining your hands. Appear innocent. Always let betrayal look like their choice, never yours. The greatest treachery is invisible. Stories of orchestrated treachery. Octavian versus Mark Antony. Octavian whispered poison into Roman ears, portraying Antony as betrayer of Rome for his love of Cleopatra. The Senate turned. The people betrayed Antony. Octavian emerged emperor. The Medici in Florence. Rivals were lured into plots, then betrayed to authorities. The Medicis appeared merciful, while betrayal culled enemies. Modern tech wars. Leaks of confidential projects spark betrayal between companies, orchestrated by competitors who remain in the shadows. History is written not just by the victors, but by the betrayers who engineered the script. Your test pause. Think of a rival in your life. What would it take to make him betray himself? Could you bait him with temptation? Could you whisper suspicion to turn his allies against him? Could you plant the seed and watch betrayal grow like weeds in his garden? Do not answer too quickly. This test is the difference between being betrayed and becoming the architect of betrayal. Your declaration. Go to the comments now and write, "I design betrayal." Not as confession, but as claim. Because once you see betrayal as a tool, you stop fearing it and begin commanding it. You now know how to wield betrayal as a blade dividing rivals, testing loyalty, orchestrating chaos. But there is one final lesson. Betrayal is not just a weapon of destruction. It is also the foundation of trust, paradoxical and ruthless. In the last part, we will uncover the Machiavellian truth of trust itself and how mastering betrayal is the only way to master loyalty. Part V. The Machiavellian truth of trust. Machiavelli shattered illusions not to leave us hopeless, but to leave us prepared. And when it comes to betrayal, his darkest lesson is also his most liberating. The only way to master loyalty is to master betrayal. The paradox of trust. Most men see trust and betrayal as opposites. They think trust is pure, betrayal is poison. But Machiavelli saw them as twins inseparable, feeding each other. Why? Because trust without the possibility of betrayal is not trust at all. It is slavery. A man who cannot betray you is not loyal, he is chained. A man who could betray you but chooses not to is truly loyal. This means betrayal is not the end of trust. It is the proof that trust existed at all. How rulers balance trust and treachery. Machiavelli advised princes to trust rarely, test constantly, and punish swiftly. Test loyalty through pressure. Only when men face danger or temptation will you see whether they stand or betray. Reward loyalty selectively. Give too much, and loyalty becomes entitlement. Give sparingly, and loyalty becomes desperate to prove itself. Punish betrayal decisively. A single traitor left unpunished breeds 10 more. Cesare Borgia mastered this balance. He inspired loyalty with rewards, engineered betrayals to test allies, and punished traitors so brutally that others feared even the thought of disobedience. The result? His rule was short-lived by fate, but within his domain, obedience was absolute. Trust, built on fear. Machiavelli was clear. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Fear creates predictability. Love creates illusions. If men fear to betray you, their loyalty, even if false, becomes reliable. Stalin trusted no one, and so he survived purges and plots for decades. His legacy is drenched in blood, but Machiavelli would see the clarity. Fear built an empire more durable than love ever could. The personal level. Do not think this law applies only to princes and tyrants. In your own life, you must wield betrayal and trust like twin blades. Friends, Do not assume loyalty. Test it. Give them chances to prove or to betray. Believe the results. Partners, do not cling blindly to promises. Watch actions under pressure. Words vanish. Pressure reveals. Work. Do not expect colleagues to sacrifice ambition for you. Expect betrayal and design around it. The Machiavellian does not cry when betrayal comes. He nods, records the lesson, and sharpens his fortress mind. The immortality of betrayal history remembers betrayal more than loyalty. Judas is remembered more than the apostles who stayed, Brutus more than the senators who stood by Caesar. Treachery echoes because it shapes the course of nations. If you wish your name to outlive you, understand this. You must not only endure betrayal, you must write betrayal into the script of your power. Make it your weapon, not your wound. Your final test, pause. Ask yourself, who do you trust and why? Is it because they promised or because you tested them under fire? Now flip the question, who trusts you and what would it take for you to betray them? Survival? Ambition? Fear? The Machiavellian man does not fear these answers. He embraces them, because to know yourself capable of betrayal is to know yourself capable of power. Your declaration. Go to the comments now and write, I trust no one. I test everyone. Because once you declare this, you no longer beg for loyalty. You manufacture it, test it, and when it breaks, you use it. Closing command. You have seen that loyalty is a mask, betrayal its true face. You have learned that betrayal is not random, but predictable. You have watched rulers turn betrayal into weapon, and you now know that trust itself cannot exist without betrayal's shadow. This is the Machiavellian truth. Betrayal is not the enemy of power. Betrayal is the teacher of power. Subscribe to Ruthless Psychology and join those who dare to see the world as it is, not as they wish it to be. You are no longer a believer in fairy tales. You are no longer shocked by daggers in the dark. You are the one who designs the daggers.